This is NDTV, and you're watching Classics.
Hello and welcome to this special show on NDTV Profit. This is a show where you will get to hear the biggest names with their biggest mantras about the stock markets, what we call the big fish. They will talk here on NDTV Profit exclusively. Today we have a special guest who not just picks up shares but also picks up stakes in companies, and that's why he's famous for his investment tips. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. He joins us on Big Fish. Mr. Jhunjhunwala, thanks so much for joining us. It's great to have you.
Thanks for inviting me.
It's a very interesting occasion that we're getting you for our new channel to talk about investment tips. Everyone must be asking you this question, so will we. What to do next?
Well, I think first is to broadly stick on to what you have. Because I think we have an unprecedented bull market. Market just, when you have this kind of a rise in a market, the first thing we should look for is not look for the top of the market, but look for the bottom. Because if we know the bottom, we can always hold on. Only if the bottoms are broken, do we need to sell.
But search for the top, is that the right way to look at it? Because as you
don't think
small investors have not even got into it as yet.
No, but at least I don't know. People who are holding stocks have a lot of doubt. I think first of all, there's a lot of under-participation from Indians in general. And a lot of disbelief.
What can change it? You think the rally, when we started talking about a year and a half ago, from then onward, the markets have gone from 4,800 back to 6,500. Nobody ever thought of it.
Shivnath, I think what will change it essentially is that I think slowly, it is very difficult to stay away from a rising market. I'm hopeful that a lot of them will gain. And I think that gain will lead to more participation. So I think time and a market which doesn't crack, these two factors combined together, we get a lot of Indians back into the market.
Right, getting the Indians back into the Indian market, that seems to be the biggest challenge. This year has been a phenomenal year. Big black Monday crash, everybody started disbelieving the markets, now back to 6,500. If one were to ask you 2005, what would be Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's big fish mantra? What would you tell them?
Well, I take markets one at a time. We take it as it comes. So I go by one fact that the long-term trend is bullish, according to me. The medium-term trend is bullish. And the short-term trend is also bullish. But we take the short-term trend by the day. Because of course, short-term trends can change. So I think I would say we should have a bullish 2005, but we should be alert.
Right, when you talk about being alert, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. But I feel the biggest risk factor to the Indian stock markets is the world economy. And we should be very alert on that angle because, America, the way the dollar is losing ground, although that's leading to a lot of money coming into non-dollar assets, there could be a very big abrupt fall of consumption in America combined with a hard landing in China. That could lead to a drag down in the world economy, which would surely hit India also. So I think that's the area where we must watch and be very cautious
But in the short term, that is being a big advantage for India. The kind of money that is flowing in because of a weak dollar, money chasing emerging markets, foreigners coming into the markets. So then that would be a question mark.
There are two scenarios that can pan out there. If the dollar is to lose slowly against the other currencies, then this whole sweet thing will continue. But if there is a very big abrupt fall in the dollar and the US economy takes it on the chin, then there could be a repercussion which will not be very good.
That's Rakesh's two big worries on the international front. On the domestic front, Rakesh, the budget is going to be a big factor. Do you agree with that?
Not really, Shivnath, because see what has happened. If you were to ask me or ask anybody last year that if we had this change of this kind of government and this change in government, what kind of effect it would have on markets? Markets had their apprehensions, but they recovered equally fast. So I think, nothing can really disturb this growth phase in India, except maybe a temporary setback to the world economy. I don't believe, budgets could be important that they could, give the market a kickstart for 1 month. They could bring it down for a month or two. But essentially, this longer term trend, I don't think can be affected really by the budget. So and be what you are in government, be who may be in government. The essence of second generation and the need for second generation of reforms is essentially essentially realized by every politician in India. So the contours of economic policy in India is towards broad economic reform.
Right. So
and the market understands and realizes that.
India is on a roll.
Yeah.
Why do you think, even after listening to you, people like you, the small investor is staying away from what the big fishes are doing?
See, this is because, Shivnath, people forget the course markets have taken since time immemorial. Markets always follow a set course. There's undervalued asset, then there's assets valuation improves, it further improves, it comes to fair value, then it comes to high value, then mad value, then obscene value. But people don't necessarily are driven by the essential value of assets. They are driven by what their experiences in the previous immediate past has been. And the experience of Indians in Indian stock markets in the last decade has not been good.
But you're feeling good right now. So you think from here onward, this is the time. If you are still away from the markets, the big fish, Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala says, please come in now.
I don't say any of that. I don't say whether you should come in today or tomorrow. I only say one thing, that over the period of the next 5 years of the decade, I think the best equity, the best investable asset available in India will be equity. That's
Right.
my contention among the alternatives.
Right. So the overall picture that we are getting on big fish right now is markets are on a roll, India is on a roll, and minor blips like budget and stuff will not really disturb that trend.
The thing that can disturb it is the world economy. Is a very abrupt fall in the dollar, extreme trouble in the US economy, degrowth in the US economy, combined with a hard landing in China. I think that can surely affect markets.
So that's the overall picture. Now, obviously, on big fish, we will try to take one theme of yours, which is unique to you, and we'll talk about it at this tragic moment when the world is confronting this big disaster of tsunami. We'll take a quick break on big fish. When we come back, we will go to Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's trading terminal, talk to him about his theme. His theme today will be disasters and the markets. How do they go together going forward? We'll come back right after this short break on NDTV Profit.